What's up, y'all?
You know what time it is? It's about to be that time. One Piece, 1039, 1039. We're about to jump into a new digit next week. Hopefully there's no break. 1040. See a lot of people in the chat. I see a lot of hype in the chat here. Man, I'm excited. You know, it feels good to get back into the groove of things where, you know, each week we have a chapter. Feels good. Feels good. Feels good to be back. How's everybody doing? Saying chapter was a banger. Have I remained unspoiled? Well, I'm unsure. We did do a stream a couple of days ago, and it seemed like someone came in and like tried to spoil me. I don't know. But who knows if what they said was true or not. So there's a possibility that I know something in the chapter, and I prefer to go in, you know, blind.
It's one of the most efficient, smart.
So we'll see. Just 1 second, guys. Just putting a link in my Discord that we're live. Boom. All right. So that's taken care of. So hopefully what they said isn't true. And, you know, we'll find out. Well, I'll read the chapter. People are saying, what did they say? But, when I'm done reading the chapter, I'll say. Oh, man, I just saw my guy. He said, snow day. He said, guess who's on time, Captain? It's about to be that time. Bro. You always think you're late. You're always on time, man. But you are here at the beginning. I haven't even gotten into the chapter yet, so here we go. W's in the chat for my guy Ty, starting us off today.
Lavish bracket, in a lavish bracket. Gotta have it. Racks, I gotta have it. Beat my fabric. Do you see this jacket? Pay my taxes. Trust me, you can track it.
Front cover a jump. Oh. Ooh. Now that's a flex. That's a flex. Luffy and Kaido sharing the cover of Jump. Oh.
It's about to get spicy.
So is this going to be a Luffy and Kaido chapter? Because you don't just put these two on the front cover of Jump and then dedicate the chapter to something else, but, you know, we about to find out. I know we're getting a color spread. Let's see. Oh, this is cute. Looks like Robin is looking at some ruins, doing some archaeology. This has that old adventure One Piece feel to it. I really love this. I hope before the end of the story we have like a fun little mini arc that's like this. You know, that's something that I definitely want. And Zoro is unusually drippy here. So just you know, I love Zoro, but he hasn't really had a great fit since pre-time skip, so you know, just throwing it out there. I'll certify him.
Certified drip.
Boom. All right. The main attraction. All right, so that tells me that, you know, we're probably getting some Luffy and Kaido stuff if the front cover of Jump wasn't enough. So let's see. But Onigashima is looming closer, so the main attraction could be referring to the people of Wano seeing Onigashima. All right. Let's find out. All right. The sky is above Wano. Back. Keep going back. If I can get it just a little further away. Right,
Another one.
we got the boy Momonosuke is doing his best to push. Oh, and you can even see Momonosuke pulling the flame clouds. He is actively working at this. Shout out to Fable, member for 8 months. My guy said, what a time to be alive. Yes. WATTBA for sure. Letting it fall on the capital is unthinkable. Someone calling for me. That's interesting. Alright. Dome interior live floor. Big Mom's been blown away! It's my random fodder for kids voice. They couldn't have beaten her! Please, we're counting on you to deal with them. Speaking of fodder, there's Law's crew. And kids' crew, for that matter. There's a lot of fodder. Oh, yeah. Yeah, seeing it in the chat. It's definitely Zunisha, for sure. Zunisha's definitely calling Momonosuke. I still feel like Onigashima could get dropped on top of Zo. There should be no minks on Zo. Alright? And it would just fall in line with my headcanon that Luffy's going to, like, free all of the races from having to be hidden. You know, so the Fishman race will not have to be underwater when it destroys Fishman Island eventually. And the minks won't have to hide on top of Zo if Onigashima gets dropped on it. So, let's see here. Bet you felt that one, hag. Hey, Eustace, that's twice now. Twice now that he did not impress me. Alright, let's see. You wait for me to use my finisher, then you swoop in with a flashy move to take the credit for yourself. I'm not your opening act. Alright, so the main attraction, part of it is going to be dealing with these two bickering about this. I like this kid's shocked face, though. In that case, you go first next time and leave the final blow to me. Quit giving me orders. There won't be anything left of that old bet once I hit her with my trump card. What comes after the bull attack? A hippo? Maybe an Oh, yeah. Oda put that in for my guy JD Legend right there. Oh my god. Shut up, like I'm gonna tell you what I'm packing. Alright, well, come on. Open that bolsa, my man. Let's see the bag. Pull out a trick that we have not seen. Come on. Impress me. Alright. Look at her bones. Oh, wow. Big Mom looks like she's got a broken wrist. Those shockwaves hit me from the inside out. Even my ribs are broken. Trafalgar's techniques are dangerous. Oh, now this is interesting. Ooh, see, this is why Big Mom is a problem, everybody. Look at this. I'll have to exchange some life to bring these bones back. So she takes her soul energy and heals herself with it. Big Mom is broken. Oh my god. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I gotta do this for the boy Law, because he really was spitting.
Savage.
All right. In all seriousness, I need to tell you something. I'll be out of strength after this round. My next attack will be my last. I can't afford to let it miss. You'll have to... I just told you to quit giving me orders. All right. Prometheus! Napoleon! Hera! Yes, mama! Macer Saber. Now that's not a sword. That's a sword. Yeah, that's a knife right there. I like that. I like the geometry of it. Getting real geometric today. All right. All right. Next page. Nothing but useless scrap. Ma. It's futile. You brats need to stop dreaming. I've sent hundreds like you to a watery grave. Whew. Savage. All right. Kid looks like he's about to do something. Oda is making this look intense. He's got the whole background whited out. He's like, oh, shout out to the boy Fable. It's about to get spicy. Yeah, I'm looking at this panel right here. This is Oda better follow this up with some kid greatness right here, because he is hyping this up with the empty background. All right. W's in the chat for my guy Wable. All right. We've ruled for decades now, since the time you two were still drinking your mother's milk. Yo, I love Big Mom. I know a lot of people don't like Big Mom, but like, she's my favorite Yonko. Like, I love Big Mom. Man. A sign. This man's putting letters on her head. What? Just turned Big Mom into Najin Buu here. He threw an N on her head. Or is this supposed to be having something to do with like polarities? N being negative, S. Well, S wouldn't necessarily be positive. Do we have any magnet experts in here? Oh man. Let's see. I can't let loose. All right. So he dragged Big Mom into the wall. I think he's using the magnetic bull to push her away, like the way a magnet would. Okay. Yeah. So he's using the opposite of a magnet to push her away. So, or nope. No, I was getting a little too heady with the magnet stuff. Next page, just hits Big Mom. All right. Magnets. How do they work? She moved the whole tower to block. Oh, okay, so Big Mom blocked. Big Mom spun around. Oh, Big Mom's a problem. You've really weighed me down with this. Mothers. Oh, we got the soul leaking. We got some soul leak here. Ah. That makes sense. Fidisc said it's north and south. All right, so we're going with literal polarity here. All right. Mother's homing cannon. Ooh, this looks like a problem. Is that Hera? This gigantic soul creature? I swear, this better hit, kid. Because this thing says homing. What? It's moving. Her attack, it's alive. Go get him, Misery. Show them their place. Oh. Law, you had to come in and ruin the fun. Big Mom was just about to slap Kid up. Alright, so this is cool. Law's going deep into that Punk Hazard bag. I've been waiting to see that.
Another one.
Shout out to the guy, DJ Red Comet 369. Member for 9 months. Said, I've been having college classes like crazy, but I'm having to tune in for the chapter 1039. The raid will not fail. Hashtag Savage Pirate for life. My guy. Alright, so this building just came down. You know, this shot of Big Mom with the tower above her reminds me of when Law, you know, raised the ship at the beginning of Punk Hazard. Big flex move by Law. Alright. The OST that just came up, this is... Yeah, this feels right. This feels right to the Grand Lines playing. Okay, so we're getting some Kroom action. He's got that sword coated. Next page. Not this again. Oh. Wait, what? Alright. Bro. This boy Law, did he have to flex like that? He's just, you know, it's funny because I made the power pole extend joke in the analysis. Like, this boy really power pole extended down to the mainland of Wano. Oh my god. Alright. We get Yamato's reaction. Yamato's still fending off Kazembo, or attempting to. Alright. Another double page spread. Oh man. Is Law gonna send Big Mom to Wano's mainland to get her out of the picture? Is that what's gonna happen? You've got guts, I'll give you that. Now get off me. Not yet. It's gotta be deeper. Oh, God. What are you doing, Captain? Let go or you'll die. Puncture. No, don't. Oh, is Law gonna go... Oh, what? Give me another page. Give me another page. It really looks like he's sending Big Mom to mainland Wano. Oh, another double page spread. Oh, Oda's treating us today. We getting a feast. Okay. Kid's still unimpressive. This is all Law. Wow, look at that crater. Burn him to ash, Misery. Now.
Another one.
Okay. How many times do I have to say it? Don't tell me what to do. Did this man make a gun? Or is this just like a... steel beam here? Is he about to, like, the end of Terminator 2 and just, like, smash Big Mom down? Alright, let's see. You brats. Oh, this is a gun. Okay, you think you can take me down? Give it your best shot. I am. That's why I'm gonna finish you off. Alright. Damned punk. Electromagnetic cannon. Oh, he made a rail gun. Okay, alright, we're getting into the bag. Your era is over. All right. Let's see. I was just looking at the comments here on TCB. There's like a meme of omelette du fromage, but it's say it again, Oda. No break next week. All right. I have finished the chapter, seen the color page. All right. So what that person did say in that previous stream was that Big Mom got defeated this chapter. So technically it did get spoiled, but then there's also the headcanon, It's like, is she defeated? Is she? But seeing it and everything play out is way better, Another one. Catch up on the chat here a little bit. Shad Fincher, member for 6 months, said, I think Big Mom is getting blasted into the crater. I hope so. I hope that Big Mom is getting blasted into the crater, because that means that she probably will... That Oda has to find a way to get Big Mom out of the story temporarily. Because I don't think that we're done with Big Mom. We're not done with Big Mom. So... Let's see here. I got a huge member for 6 months. How you feeling about Woostis Captain Wid? I mean, obviously this is Kid's best feat. Yo, big shout out to the guy, Ty. Join the channel. Joined it at Lavish Bracket. My guy, appreciate you. W's in the chat for our guy Y. Chrissy, member for 9 months. Tinfoil hat. Interesting that it is a sword. Feeding the agenda. Lucy B said Oda was in peak this week. Nick Can't Snipe said, Big Mom has a giant lightsaber. She's officially the most versatile Yonko. I agree. Misery taking the form of Carmel was really poetic. That's interesting. So I didn't think of it as that. I looked at Misery more as a manifestation of Hera, but technically Hera also like kind of looks a little bit like young Carmel. I don't know if I would go full looks like Carmel, but it's there. Nick said, "Can we talk about law?" Of course we do. We've got plenty of time in the stream. This is definitely going to be some law talk here. I Eat Mapu said, "Why is Kid so useless? Even Lanji would beat him." Hey, look here. We don't put the L in front of Sanji's name over here. We only put W's there. Okay. Evo said, "Look at Law's tattoos in the panel where he says tact. Instead of death, it says eat, because he's got his fingers all moved around there." Yep. Eat dirt, Big Mom. Scout Treese, remember for 6 months, said, "Now that's a big hole linking Kid and Law to Yamato." That's interesting. Yeah. We'll definitely talk about that. Alex M. Any chance Big Mom dies here? No. Kid's canon was in the anime opening. What? I don't remember that. Wheezy Bird said, "Kid 1v1 and flashback incoming." That'd be interesting. That would be interesting. I mean, I'm ready for a Kid flashback, but at the same time, it's also like, I don't know if it's the time for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got other things to do, and for Oda to just harp on making me love Kid, I don't know. You tell me. Is it the time? Is it the time, people? Do people want the Kid flashback right now? I'd rather get the Kaido flashback.
Lavish bracket, in a lavish bracket, gotta have it. Racks, I gotta have it. Beat my fabric.
Big W's.
Do you see this
Big W's.
jacket?
I want to see nothing but W's.
Pay my taxes. Trust me, you can track it.
Nothing but dubs. Yeah. Big dub tie over here. Said, Chrissy, Lucy B, Zoe, Enjoy Girl, cover your ears. My man said, "Oh, Willie went deep on Big Mom. Literally blew her back out. The will of D indeed." Oh my god, bro. My man said it has to be deeper. I'm sorry, guys. That's the time we're on this week. Enter a name said, "Worst Winteration fans eating good today." Let's see. Shiv said, "Kid flashback after he or killer dies." Yeah, see, that's more appropriate. No. Chrissy said, "Ty, I'm dying laughing." Yeah. Chrissy doesn't need to cover her ears for that. That's Chrissy's humor all day. Chrissy probably thought about it herself as she was reading the chapter. Kip/Seaway said, "I'm honestly not interested in a Kid flashback. Maybe a combined Kid and Killer one, but Kid alone just isn't that interesting of a character, just my opinion." Yeah, I mean, Killer's likely to steal the show in the flashback anyway. But if the ASL flashback is any indicator, you know, Oda tends to give us a flashback after something of importance, you know. So, if Kid were to die, which would be preferable to Killer, more interesting, that's when I would want the flashback. Although, I would probably say after the flashback, like I said with ASL, I wish I got this beforehand. But there's no point in like disrupting the story right now for the kid flashback. And it's like, if we had the kid flashback, maybe, you know, it'd feel differently about a lot of this stuff. You know? Maybe there was somebody in Kid's life that, you know, like really loved animals, really loved bulls. Maybe his mentor was a matador, you know, and that's why he, you know, created this gigantic bull. It's a symbol of his Shanks, his Corazon, the person who taught him how to, you know, mold his magnetism properties, but told him, hey, look, don't go too far. Don't do anything really cool. Just, you know, just make some party animals. But you know, railguns are okay too, though. See, I like that. Brandon King said, someone named Kid beating someone named Mom. The irony. Yep. Mifta said, hello, bro. I'm from Indonesia. Good night. Thanks for stopping by. Ty said, I got secrets of my own. Oh, yeah. Chrissy said my eyebrows went up while reading it. She 100% did. Gum Diesel said, Law taking Haki punches from Big Mom while stabbing her. Different level. Definitely. We definitely got... I've been waiting for Punk Hazard Law to come back. And Punk Hazard Law came back in full swing. So... Thousand Sunny said, Randy, did Law tear a hole into Big Mom's chest? No, so that's not the way that the his like Kroom and his awakening works. It like phases through. Now what he might have done is like messed up Big Mom's internal organs, her structure and all of that, but you know, watch Oda get up and say, well, after having, you know, 100 kids, her internal structure and her, you know, organs and all of that were already moved around. So oh God. But realistically, Oda gave Big Mom a huge out in this chapter, because if she can just draw souls, right? Let's say hypothetically, right? The best case scenario from a story perspective is if Big Mom does get shot down into that crater in Wano, right? And if it's not too deep and there are actually Wano citizens nearby, Big Mom could like steal their souls and then heal herself with them. Or if she does still have enough soul power, can heal herself, you know, over time. It may just take until the story is ready for her to come back conveniently to, you know, finish healing, right? Oh man, because I don't think that Law and Kid are going to they're going to beat Big Mom, but they're not going to stop Big Mom. Big Mom's going to get back up at some point because she's just too much of a problem. But it'll be enough time for us to go finish the Kaido stuff, have a bunch of other stuff happen, and then Big Mom to sort of realize the world government is here and all this other stuff, and then like grab Perospero and like get out with the other kids to, you know, Team Rocket away and be used for another story that actually like finishes her arc, which was started in Whole Cake Island. And now the CP0 agents could very well be used to awaken Big Mom and like finish that storyline if they are, you know, the kids from her flashback, because they look like them. But man, this is crazy. This is crazy. Let me see what the chat's talking about. Shout out to Brandon King, member for 3 months. Love the content and the new moves by Kid and Law. Appreciate you, man. Killer B0047, member for 3 months, said, hey, Randy, great chapter. Law MVP. Oh, Law MVP for sure. Law. The railgun was cool. I'm not putting the railgun down. But what Law did was just leagues more impressive. Leagues more impressive. The grass is good there. I Eat Mapu apologized for the Sanji slander. Ymil said, is Law compensating with the length of his sword? There's an argument to be made there. Let's see. Oh, wow. So Fable said Big Mom is going to fall into the crater and then Yamato is going to drop bombs on her Donkey Kong style. Now that's an out for these bombs, actually. Still have to deal with Kazembo. But right now, that area of Wano looks to be uninhabited. So if Big Mom falls down into the crater, Yamato can use the hole that Law conveniently put in the through Onigashima, right? To just take the bombs and knock them off and just let them fall into that area, fall into that already crater. And if Big Mom does fall there, oh man, that's probably it right there, my man. That's, yeah. Oh yeah. That's crazy. That's crazy for sure. Alex M said, how will the news handle her defeat? What about Killer and Kid? Well, I mean, they'll probably say that all of this was orchestrated by the menace Monkey D. Luffy, and that his subordinates, Eustace, Captain Kidd, and Trafalgar Law, assisted. A new era of Yonko arise. We don't even need the Yonko anymore. Chid said 1039 is for the kid haters. Oda knows. I mean, like there's good and great things for anybody that likes to double down on Kid, because first of all, like Law going in on Kid's techniques and like them being trash and like telling him to like go deeper into his bag. That was definitely for me. Catching up. Jamal Nabil said, hey Randy, good to see you here. Greetings from Yemen. Nice to have you here. I love how international One Piece is. Like, really, I love it so much. Brings everybody together. Fable said, Big Mom beating up on Kid constitutes domestic abuse, which is why Law had to get involved. The Law, right? The Law had to get involved on this, this child abuse case. Oh man. People hating on Kid for no damn reason. No, they're actually there's definitely a reason for why Kid gets hated on. So like Oda created this problem himself by, you know, saying that Kid would that he always had Kid in mind for the story. So he had a plan for a character of Kid. Now, what ends up happening in this, you know, this is a case with a lot of writers, is like they'll have a plan for a certain character, but as they're writing, another character will like take that spot or cover that role, you know. So it's like it's very possible that whatever Kid's journey was is something that Law has been fulfilling. So, you know, what would have been great, you know, I'm very happy with everything that we get. I love what Oda gives. But if we had like a completely different arc, maybe something that we, you know, that's something outside of everything that's been putting us on this journey, but some other arc that Kid was involved in, right? Like in a Capone capacity, right? Where he was there and he was like heavily there, and it was like it sort of amped that rivalry between Luffy, and when it would have gotten the, you know, the headcanon that Kid is a worthy rival for Luffy, then that would have been interesting to go on this journey where, you know, like, oh wow, like Kid was taken down by Kaido, is captured by Kaido. Now Kid and Luffy are, you know, in the prison, all this stuff. Like if we had more of an established relationship between the two characters other than just those couple of chapters in the archipelago, I think a lot of this would just hit better. It would hit stronger. There would be more of an arc for Kid's character. And say hypothetically, you know, if Kid, you know, was to come to the realization in this arc, which it seems like, you know, that's what Oda is doing, is that Kid is starting to submit to Luffy, not directly, you know, it's more subconscious, more indirect, but understand that like, oh, I'm gonna work together with Law to take down Big Mom because I can't do this by myself, but I'm going to leave Kaido to Monkey D. Luffy. Like that dude is better than me. Like it's like the wheels are starting to form for Kid, and that sort of growth would have been better if Kid was a character that was with us for a much longer time, that we spent more time with, that we had a flashback with. Killer has had way more story development than Kid has. There are moments with Killer that I can like easily just pull out of my head randomly that are like, that was a great moment, that's a great character, look at what they did. And Kid doesn't really have those moments. Like this railgun moment might be the first one for me. Like there was nothing in Udon that impressed me. There wasn't very much in the archipelago that impressed me. This railgun technique is pretty cool though. So it's more just, I think, a lot of people being disappointed from the hype that Oda gave Kid. So yeah, and then a lot of people, I think, you know, there were so many community videos, so many community theories and posts on forums where people were like getting into the you know, like the nitty gritty of magnets, getting into Magneto, people, you know, talking about blood bending and all kinds of stuff. So people got really hyped of like the potential for Kid. Now, I never really submitted into that stuff. I don't necessarily care if he goes full Magneto or not. I mean, I'd like to see him do more interesting things. But when we get to Roof Piece and all he's doing is like suplexes and, you know, everybody else is doing like this really like great stuff, and like Kid is just like RKO. People's elbow. Like I'm like, that's what you brought all that junk up there for, to just do a jump off the ropes with a giant people's elbow, my man? Like it's he's just there. Shin said, if you want to hate Kid and Law's crews. They did nothing but cheer their captains. Hey, look. I am constantly going in on Law and Kid's crews. More so Law's crew. Because Law's crew is like, they are trash. We've not seen anything from them.
Savage.
Like I remember seeing, it was either Shachi or Penguin chapters ago or whatever. We just saw a panel and like one of them or both of them were having a sword, and it was like, when did they ever have swords? When did we learn they were swordsmen? And it's just like, all right. And then we just get like close-ups of Beppo just like looking, and it's just like, dude, like, do something. Do something. Where was Beppo? Like, we had Jean Bart and like the rest of his fodder Marines there, and I'm like, but like Beppo, Shachi, and Penguin should have been there also. This dude's about to like kill himself to take out Big Mom, and and Beppo's not there for it, so it's not happening. Beppo's not there to see it. It's not happening. Yeah. Let's see. Hold on. Where is it? I lost the comment, but someone said, is the Raizo and Fukurokuju fight the last fight to be finished before Luffy's? That's gas. Yeah, Pimpville said that. Yeah, well, it's actually the last fight. It's gonna finish after Luffy defeats Kaido. That's the way that one's gonna work out. That's the most important fight of everything right here. Shiv over here spitting. Kid's role should have been given to Bellamy. Would have been so much more interesting to have, but Bellamy's coming back, and Bellamy is going to fulfill a lot of the roles I think that people expected from Kid anyway. Fable said, stop the wrestling disrespect. I'm not disrespecting anything. Wrestling is great, but Kid's out here acting like Ric Flair, but he doesn't have half the charisma. Woo! Bull! Woo! Like, okay. I mean, I'll woo to a railgun, though. Viraj said, Big Mom is tanking some really impressive attacks these past few chapters. She still looked fine after Law's latest awakening attack. Yeah. I keep telling people, like, Big Mama's a problem. She's not going down this arc. If she does, then whatever, I'll take the L, but it just makes more sense story-wise if she doesn't. Unlimited Height asks, does Izo stand a chance against CP0? If the story is meant to hype CP0, then no plot armor in the world will save Izo. Lemillion, member for 6 months, said, Kid's last attack should have had Conqueror's... Feels bad, man. Yeah. Junaid said, to me, we still need to see Big Mom know what she did to Mother Carmel and the kids. That's the main thing left for her character. So, yeah, I agree, and I think that Pudding is going to play a role in that. Since Pudding's not here, that's why I think that Big Mom leaves Wano. Could Law deal with Kazembo easy? Asked Gryson. Law might be able to teleport Kazembo away, but I don't think that Law has the stamina for it now. That's why I still feel that Marco is going to fly in, and now Marco has a straight shot to Kazembo also. So that even makes things easier for that, right? People were saying, you know, what if Kid and Law drop down to like help out with Kazembo? That's an interesting thought, but I don't think the Kid's skill set is going to help with that, unless he puts Kazembo in a metal box like he did with Big Mom on the roof. That's potential. Kid could put Kazembo in a metal box and then throw it out the hole that Law made. But then it would just... I don't think that would ruin the sentience involved. It would probably just start... You know, it's like they get the bombs out, but then now Kazembo is rushing towards the people of Wano, so they still have to figure out a way to stop it. I think Marco's the only way to take out Kazembo. And there's mythology behind it as well. I have a video on that on the channel. Emil Diaz said, if Big Mom loses, will the government attack Whole Cake? Not only would the government probably try to seize the territory back, like Blackbeard would probably go. It would be a power vacuum. You know, like Blackbeard went and scooped up all of Whitebeard's territories for the most part. Well, excluding Fishman Island. Big Mom took that. But, you know, when a power vacuum happens, it just... You know, people go and try and take what they left behind. Wait, what did Dizza say? Oh my god. Do you think Law was Big Mom's best? Probably. Let's see. Scout said Lost Quorum seems to make his sword behave similarly to a needle. If used correctly, you can't feel it, but it can be used to deliver both medicine and lethal injections inside the body. Now that's... I like that take. I like that take a lot. Steve said that their money is on Nami taking out Big Mom. I don't know about that. Brandon King said, check the purple beam in the newest One Piece opening. Looks like Law's puncture while. To me, that looked like a blast breath, you know, like something from Kaido. But Law didn't go into like that district anyway. He kind of went into like the middle of nowhere with it. But Law's definitely packed up. Dead Jiro panel coming? You think Denjiro's dead, Shin? Come on. I mean, he doesn't exist. Anytime someone comments, like leaves a comment, like I can't wait to see what's going on with Denjiro. Like lately, I've just been writing, who? As like a response. Oh man. take a look at this chapter again. Take a look at these pages, see if there's anything that we missed here. Kip said Denjiro might be on some hidden agenda. He'd been gone so long. This whole backstory with Hiyori has me thinking, lately. So there was Denjiro is there's a high possibility that since Denjiro has been gone for a while, that he is doing some Mr. Prince type stuff. You know, like how Sanji disappeared at the end of Eni's lobby, but he pulled the lever that ended up getting them out. So there could be some sort of ex machina that Oda is crafting into the story and using Denjiro as the person to do that. Although it's always better when it's a main character that does that kind of stuff. So realistically, Denjiro could play a role in everything that's going on with Orochi, but I think it would be better for the story if he found Sasaki and had and there was some sort of story relevance between his friendship with Sasaki that like ties into something that turns the tide in some way. Denjiro's not tied to too many other characters to where it makes sense for him to show up in other places. I mean, it would be very interesting if he got involved in the CP0 stuff with Izo, but I don't really see the story relevance there. I would prefer that Hiyori handles this Orochi business by herself, or with Zoro more so than Denjiro. Yeah, it's interesting. We'll see. Emil said Denjiro fell down the side of Onigashima, is currently in mainland Wano. He's in the crater. He got hit by the shock while and he got knocked down. Mariko said Denjiro is a Mandela effect case in One Piece. He never existed. Yeah, those shock wiles hit different, right? It's interesting that we had, the front cover of Jump and it's Luffy versus Kaido, but then the chapter is, entirely Law and Kid versus Big Mom. But this is what we predicted, so, another one. This is the way that Oda's structure has been for, like, all of Onigashima. You start the fight, you finish the fight. It happened with Robin, it happened with Jinbei. Sanji and Zoro's were dragged over multiple chapters, but even those followed a similar structure. And after this, technically Raizo versus Fukurokuju still needs to get wrapped up, but I think obviously the most important fight that's going on is Luffy versus Kaido. But we still have Hiyori and Orochi, which is something that needs to get wrapped up as well. And I think that is the second most important thing, because Orochi is the secondary antagonist of Wano, even above Big Mom. Like, it's Kaido and Big Mom, sure, but it's really Kaido and Orochi to Wano, and then Big Mom as an outside party, just like creating chaos. So Ty spitting, where's my cover story? That's the thing, man. And I said this last week when I got to the end of the chapter, and it was like color page, and next week I'm like, not when we're in the middle of a cover story that's really interesting. Like, you don't give us, come on, you don't give us Niji and Yonji like packed up like that, booked, and then do a color spread. Like, that was just dirty by Oda. I like the color spread. It's classic. But when we're in a cover story, I want that lore. And this one like feels like it's really shaping up to be like one of the most interesting cover stories that we've ever had. The Capone one was not that great. Oh man. So let's see. Just catching up here. Big Mom dodged kids bull. Yeah, there's definitely some heavy Matador action. Maxo said, even Law was like, I'm carrying you, and Kid just said, who cares? Gio said, hey, I love Gotti getting married. That was probably my favorite part. That was probably the best part. Probably the most interesting part. And I'm in the minority that didn't really care that Pound came back. Because I'd rather someone, if they're going to come back to life, like have some sort of story relevance. So, shout out to Chad Elmer, said, jokes aside, it's interesting that Law needed to plunge his sword deeper into Big Mom. Maybe more Kroom surface area passing through means more damage. That was the implication that I was getting, is that he wanted to be sure that it was actually penetrating exactly what he wanted it to penetrate. Pause. Law's definitely going to be packed up next chapter. I just want to see everybody get everybody that's packed up just get poorly wrapped in bandages. Oh man. This man kid really showed up and like really told Big Mom what the letter of the day was. The letter of the day is S and N. Today we're learning about magnets. Oh man. This is easily one of the best fight chapters in Onigashima. And anybody who says otherwise is capping hard. Because Law went in.
Savage.
And Kid used a railgun. But Law, whew, man. This is like breaking the gears level Law. This is cutting an island in half Law. I really hope that it actually did create a hole through Onigashima. Okay, yeah. We do see that. We do see the confirmation of Yamato looking up and seeing that there is a hole. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. I wanted to make sure that there was a confirmation that Law didn't just phase through Onigashima and only affect mainland Wano. He really did create a crater through the entire island. So now there's going to be a bunch of people that can like go in and out of that like 60s Batman and just slide down. That hole is going to have plot significance. That's the most important thing that Law is going to have done this entire arc, because that hole is going to get used. It's probably what Marco is going to fly in to save everybody from Kazembo. The fact that Law made that hole is going to save a lot of lives. Shout out to Scout. Said, now that I'm thinking about it, all of Law's chrome attacks resemble medical devices. Shock Wile is like a defibrillator, and Puncture Wile is like a medical drill. So he's drilling and defibbing at the same time. We got Silvers in the chat. Said, yo, what's up? Randy just wanted to pop in, say what's up. Hashtag stay savage. Appreciate you dropping by, Silvers. You know, we in here, we eating. It's a good fight chapter this week. Appreciate you, man. Swag necklace, the OP no Mi is way too broken, and Oda knows how to utilize that. Yeah, you know, when he lets characters like really just dive into their bag and pull these tricks out, you know, like one of the most, like obviously the most impressive thing is Law's extremely deep penetration into Wano, but Big Mom, like, healing herself, like just the confirmation that she can do that just puts her on a whole different bracket. You know, we're talking lavish. That was a lavish move that I know saved Big Mom over the years. Being able to transform her lifespan, potentially other people's lifespan, if it's not just intrinsic to her, is so broken. Even if it's just hers, to be able to heal broken bones. Like, if you can't heal yourself and you're going up against Big Mom, like, that's a problem. Gio said Oda has so many thoughts, but we need full explanations and flushed out moments. Yeah, I mean, you know, every once in a while, I'd love a
in a lavish bracket, gotta have it. Racks, I gotta have it. Beat my fabric. Do you see this jacket? Pay my taxes. Trust me, you can track it.
My guy. W's. I don't want to see nothing but W's. Oh my god. Yo. My man said, did you add an 808 to my walkout music? It's all boom pap over here, bro. I gotta get Eddie to mix the new version that he made of it. Actually, he sped it up a little bit. It's a little different this time. Let's see. Um, let me see. I have an unmixed version of the new version.
Are you venturing into the fashion industry and is Kim going to be abused?
Am I venturing into the fashion industry? Do you see this cup?
Lavish bracket, in a lavish bracket, lavish bracket. Gotta have it. Racks, I gotta have it, gotta have it. Beat my fabric. Do you see this jacket? Do you see it? Pay my taxes. Trust me, you can track it. Denim down, bitch, I'm denim down. Denim down, bitch, I'm denim down.
Shout out to Eddie Heartthrob.
Denim down, bitch, I'm denim down. Lavish bracket, in a lavish bracket.
Look, lavish. Gotta elevate my status quo. Temperature cold and average. Told her don't make me grab my coat. And I got the wrist on patty. Picky looking like I got covenant snow. You know I gotta keep things savage. She ain't never gonna tell me she don't love me no more. Top floor pal, sweet.
Not ready for that yet. Soon. My guy Ty said, also, please explain Big Mom's last attack. Was the Misery Lady a cannon? Final thought on Kid. I truly believe Shonen Jump Inc. liked the character design and told Oda he looks cool. More of him. Kid has as much backstory as his Hawkins. This is definitely Ty's walkout music for sure. All right, so let's take a bigger look at this misery thing here. As far as like final thought on Kid being, I truly believe Shonen Jump, like the character design, told Oda he looks cool, more of him. I mean, that's really what they said about Law, because Law, immediately after the Archipelago, they had a popularity poll, and Law was in like no. I don't even think the Archipelago ended, and just off the strength of his design alone, Law was in the top 10. Kid, I don't think he was. So that was definitely pressure, you know, and it was like kind of a situation where I think Oda realized that Law, opposed to Kid, was actually like the Vegeta he was looking for the story, and then incorporated him that way. Going back to this Misery Lady here. Trying to find the page. Because the Misery attack was like, oh, it was so good. So good. Let's see. So what I think, I don't know if it was I don't think it was a cannon, but I think it was like an extension of soul energy coming from Big Mom's sword, right? And then would be able to move. I think I would actually liken it more like to a One Piece thing, to what Magellan did at the end of Impel Down, right? When he created this like giant poison extension of himself and then like sent that at everybody. That's what I think Misery is. So it's the energy coming off of the sword, so it's kind of like a it's still attached to the sword. So I don't think that it moves on its own. I think it's Big Mom's soul energy manifested into this like gigantic monster that could maybe burn you also, attack you from the inside. I don't know, but it has a will of its own. So it seems like Big Mom can get hurt, and then Misery can still move around because it's sentient, right? Yeah. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about Misery. Let's see. Let me catch up on the chat. Checking. Nikhil said, "Why does Randy keep blocking me? Did I do something wrong?" I didn't see anything that you did. I'm not doing it, so I don't mean to hit you with the Thanos to to Wanda, but I didn't see whatever you said that might have been taken the wrong way.
Savage.
Vashad said, I missed something from them. I definitely read something that you said, so I'll try and find it though. Let's see. The boy Vern's in here. What's up, man? Saida Abdo said that while is pronounced with a V. Say it like Vila. With an E at the end, it's German. Okay, Schock Vila. Okay. I like that. I like getting told how to pronounce things. I don't like to say things wrong. Loggy Doggy said, that hole is going to get used. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to post that quote out of context on Twitter. God. All right. People were loving the lavish bracket snippet. I'll let Eddie know. Let's see. Ty said, Misery didn't hit anybody but fodder. Yeah, that kind of bothered me. I really wanted to see Misery hit Kid. Like, is that bad? Like, I wanted to see what it did. When Law came in with the tower, I was like, let Big Mom go off, Oda. People talking about Stephen King's Misery. Here's Vishad's super chat. It said, Luffy just punches and kicks people. We, the audience, like how Haki hits look visually because Black Lightning laser beam. You missed my first comment. Oh, all right. Then let me try pulling that up. Let's see. Because I just tried scrolling up and I couldn't find it. But I will find it. Shad said, I feel a lot of nuance is missed with Kid's attack. because Oda made his attacks simple.
Certified drip. It's about to get spicy.
Shout out to Sagar Patel. Thank you, W's in the chat for Sagar. I'll be right there. Oda made kids' attacks simple. He throws things around, but kids' attacks are simple, just like Luffy. So the comparison to Luffy is fair, right? But I wouldn't, like obviously Luffy just punches and kicks, right? But he finds really unique ways to punch and kick, like spinning and growing. And I mean, the fundamentals are always a punch and a kick, same way that kids' fundamentals are that it's always metal. But even still, like, you can go into properties of rubber, like vulcanization and different methods like that Oda has, like, without outright saying it, seems to have used. Whereas Kid has not done as much of that. Now, it was fun seeing him messing with north and south polarities and, things like that, and magnetic fields. But I think there's just a little more creativity that can go into a Magnet Man. And then, so, yeah. But it's also really difficult. Oda has said that Kid is the most difficult person to draw, because all of the nuance that has to go into, like, the little gears and everything inside of that. So it makes things pretty difficult for him. Let's see. So Sagar Patel said, "What a chapter. Busy day, so only just got to read it. The live action looks to have started filming too." Yes, it has. We have seen shots of the producer chairs on set. We have seen Nami and Luffy's chairs. I don't know if anybody else put any chairs out. There's a little piece of a call sheet put into a story. Yeah, it's really happening, guys. So it's and it's fun. It's fun. Information, will come out when it comes out. I'm sure that there'll be some sort of a promotional photo shoot that they'll do eventually. Where they get everybody in their costume together and, and put that out. It'd be fun if they actually recreate, like one of the iconic cover stories or something like that. Or even a volume cover or something. It'd be really, that'd be fun. But anyway, Sagar finished off by saying, "Until now, I wasn't impressed with Kid and Law. But is it an L if Big Mom loses against Kid and Law without any of them using advanced conquerors?" So that's what I feel like a lot of the bigger power scalers in the community are probably going to attribute it to. They're going to say, "Oh, well, Big Mom, can't be at this level because she was defeated without advanced conquerors." But the thing is that, and I say this all the time when it comes to power scaling, and it's why I like meme on power scaling in the first place, is that while these power systems are in place, Haki, advanced conquerors, like all of this stuff, like, yeah, and it does signify whether you're a top tier, being able to use your ability in a creative way will always overcome, strength or anything like that. It's like Kizaru could potentially have, if he's caught slipping, could have a hard time with Foxy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if Kizaru got hit with the Noro beam, I don't know. But then again, maybe a bad analogy, because if you can move at the speed of light, even if you have to wait 30 seconds, like, you'd probably just move at like he'd be moving at like regular speed when he's hit with the beam, unless Foxy was able to like amp his beam up to stop the speed of light. But basically, I hope you understand what I'm saying is that like fruits can negate other fruits, so that in itself can go against a lot of power scaling metrics. Like Shagvila, as it's how I've been told it's meant to be pronounced, is passing through Big Mom, right? It is attacking her from the inside, similar to how Gamma Knife attacked Doflamingo from the inside. So it's, if you can damage someone's internal organs, do you need advanced conquerors? If you can shoot a railgun, do you need, like, how is Kid going to put advanced conquerors on his railgun beam? You know, I mean, I guess I could, if someone could put advanced conquerors on a bullet, like, say Yasop has advanced conquerors, hypothetically, right? What would that do to the bullet? But then again, does he need a bullet, right? Imagine if, like, I mean, I'm just putting a tinfoil hat on right now, but imagine if, like, Yasop doesn't even fire bullets. He just shoots advanced conquerors out of his gun. I don't know. There's so many, you know, rules and everything to all of this, and it's like we never got, like, a Hunter x Hunter explanation for all of this stuff like we did for Nen, you know, and it's like one day I'd love Oda to just put a you know, full explanation out. But I think that a lot of things Oda gets away with is how unexplained a lot of things are. He's able to sort of work in it, he's able to do it, and then come up for an explanation afterwards. Swaying Necklace said, imagine Kizaru loses against Foxy. Foxy Admiral level. Yep. Let's see. I'm just catching up on the chat here. Smosky D Zoro said check Twitter. Alright. Varden said anybody mentioned the law attack being shown in the new opening. Yeah, but I mean, I think that I kind of think that it might be a reach. But I'm gonna look back at it and sort of think about it from that perspective. Let's see. Cone Killer Confusor. I'll bet. I was taking it back to SNL in my mind. I think we're sleeping on South and North. Kid can magnetize non-metal objects to other non-metal objects, he specifies. That's crazy versatile. You know, I didn't think of it that way. That is interesting. He can magnetize non-metal objects. But, you know, in that, then, is he using the iron in the body, you know? Oh, man. That's a really good point. The Snake said, imagine if Kid eventually uses liquid metal. Like he takes the scrap metal and heats it down into flowing liquid metal like the Terminator. Well, I mean, I'm here for it because I'm a huge Terminator fan. But then that would just bring up conversations of, is Kid a secret Lunarian because he's using heat and fire and all of that. What would be interesting is if he, if Heat, his like crew member that blows fire from his mouth, if they did a team attack and he was able to burn metal somehow, and then Kid did something with that. Now that would be an interesting, like really cool team up matchup, but like we don't really know or understand anything about Heat. He just kind of like appears, goes whoosh, and like leaves for hundreds of chapters. Ty said, so Kid's comment last chapter is representative of his attack prowess. It's going to take 1 billion attacks, raindrops, to take down a mountain. Yeah. And Big Mom is definitely a mountain. Phantom, definitely watch all of the movies that Lucy B recommended. There's a lot of Stephen King stuff going on in the chat there. PXPX said, Randy, what happened to the 1038 live stream? It's on the new second channel, which is where the VODs are being dumped. So that is linked in the description. The new channel, Randy Troy. So make sure that you're subbed over there because the VOD for this stream will also be going over there. Yeah, we're trying some new things with the channel to improve metrics and growth and all of that. So moving the streams over to a dedicated place, and it'll also be members only here on this channel, but anybody else that's not a member will have the other channel to use it. Chin said, Randy, if Conqueror's Haki can tame animals, is it possible Luffy's Conqueror's Haki can tame Smile users as they are half animals? I guess that would be interesting, but it would make Tama a little irrelevant. So. Swag Necklace said, Hunter x Hunter is far better than One Piece when it comes to power systems. Hunter x Hunter is the best power system and the best explanation of a power system that I've ever seen in probably media in general, not just anime and manga. Like, they actually take the time to be like, this is the rule system. I'm not going to go outside of the rule system. There's a bunch of wacky stuff that can happen, but it's all within the rule system. And it's still sort of will-based anyway. Nature Boy asks my favorite arc. Shout out to the Nature Boy. Woo! Alabasta. Vashad said, great reaction, Randy. Need to get back to work. Appreciate you, Vashad. Thanks for dropping by. You can melt metal with electromagnets. Interesting. Let's see, I need to brush up on my my magnets thing. I might end up like getting off of this VOD and then like watching a bunch of like scientists on YouTube explain magnets to me. But I better just not type in how do they work, because that's just gonna get me a bunch of stuff that I probably don't want to watch. See, now chin spitting, like One Piece is a backstory system MVP. Yes, if there's Oda's best writing technique is crafting a backstory, I think. He understands it. He understands character, which is so important. He understands that a character needs a desire, right? And that's the beauty of One Piece in itself, is that every character having a desire automatic, and then like, and making the whole story about one particular desire in the first place, and everybody like going for that same thing, makes every character automatically more compelling than most media that you would watch to begin with, right? Because there's a lot of stuff that you watch and you're trying to figure out, okay, but what do they want, right? And sometimes you'll watch something and the writer maybe didn't have that figured out, but somehow still got that movie made or that TV show made, and it's just sort of aimless. And then they say, well, that's the beauty of it. It's aimless. It's supposed to leave it up to interpretation, you know? And it's like, yeah, but that's why you got like, you know, you're sitting at like a 4.7 on IMDb. Like if it was really all that stuff, you'd be, you know, at least an 8 or a 9. So it means it's not working, right? So here we have characters that want something, that have desires. We are invested in them, and then we learn about their past. And we understand what brought them to that place. And this is all a benefit of how long it's been running too, because if it was condensed, we wouldn't have half of this like amazing development. And man, yeah, I love it. I love it. Villet. Like that, Saeed? Jacques Villet? Marco said, Ric Flair Woo needs to be on the soundboard. Definitely. Definitely. Yeah. That is the flex god right there. Talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, woo! Jet flying, limousine riding. Son of a gun, I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down. I think that's the quote. It's one of the best rants on national television that's ever been. I made more money on spilt liquor than you made. Flying from one side of this country to the next. Oh man, he's such, like, Ric Flair is such like, he's so prime. Like, you know, when things are hype, like sometimes for the analysis, I'll just try and find like a clip of Ric Flair going off, because that's how I feel. Let's see. Yamil super chat said, can Kid assign 2 of the same poles, a north on the sea and another north on a pirate ship, and you get a levitating ship that can fly? See, now that's what I thought Kid was doing initially. When Big Mom took the spun around and like used the or when the bull was coming towards Big Mom, I thought that Kid was going to use the bull as the same pole that Big Mom was, and then use the bull to push Big Mom into like a wall, right? And then just the power of them never actually hitting, but using the wall as the power and like just kind of hold Big Mom in place. That's what I thought we were getting. That's where my mind went. I was like, oh, okay, he's using two of the same poles to push Big Mom. But instead, he just used them to attract. It would be really interesting to see something like that. And theoretically, based on Oda logic, something like that should be possible. But I guess the only difference is being able to, what control does Kid have of a ship in that situation? Like, can he just do that all the time and just like fly out of does he have full control of the ship? Because in that case, he should be able to do that to himself, right? Just Majin Buu himself and just put an N on his head and then N on the floor, and then like kind of almost like buggy, like a little buggy fly. Oh, we got very motivated in here. Ville. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. Barry asks, how did I like the chapter? This is easily one of the best fight chapters in Onigashima, for sure. We got Punk Hazard Law is back. Kid did a railgun. It was alright. That was the best thing Kid's done. Let's see. Jonathan R.K. A maser is a device that produces coherent electromagnetic waves through amplification by stimulated emission. Interesting that Big Mom's attack is maybe also named after something electromagnetic related. Yeah. Love learning things. That's the thing. We all learn something here. Saeed Abdo always has really interesting translations and stuff, so I'm modding him so I see his stuff better. Nature Boy said, Randy, realistically, how hard is it to be a YouTuber? It depends. I guess it depends on how motivated you are. Like I think it would be much harder for someone that was doing it for something that they didn't have a passion for. Like, I have a lot of fun doing this, so I don't necessarily consider it very hard. It was difficult to learn how to stream because I had never done that. Like, all of the camera stuff I do and the editing, it's not easy. It takes a lot of time. It's time consuming. So that can be, the hard part of it. But it's fun, so it's not like it's dragging on me. Yeah. I mean, I think it comes down to just motivation, you know? I feel like I hear a lot about people getting burnt out. But, you know, it's like, then they start to feel obligated to put content out because they have to feed the algorithm and all of that. But I'm not burnt out at all. I could talk about One Piece all day. Villa. Top 10 fight chapters for Cybe 327. That's a take. That's a take. Barry was like, okay, but how did you feel about Kid? Oh, we had a lot to say. We had a lot to say for sure. Jimmy Stryker said, just popping in to like, I'll VOD later. Make sure that you have the second channel on tap, Randy Troy, because the VOD's gonna be over there, Jimmy. Let's see. Barry said 319 people in here, 200 likes. We can do better. We can do better. I know you're listening. I know you're not watching me. You're just enjoying the audio. You might be washing dishes. You might be doing something. Pick that phone up. Hit that button. Hit that hit that subscribe button. Yeah. You guys are talking about Grand Line Reviews Dude in a Room channel. I've been watching a lot of the stuff on there. I like what he's doing. And I feel like he has a zest for what he's talking about there. And yeah, I think it reads. Vern said, I gotta head out. Wonderful to see you all again. I'm gonna need Randy to give those 1040 spoilers so I can hear them when I watch the VOD later. Alright, 1040 spoilers. Okay, so let's think. We've finished this, for the most part, this Big Mom thing. I think that there's more to... I think there's at least a couple of pages to half of a chapter of this to wrap up. If Oda moves away from this, then Big Mom is getting back up. I still think Big Mom's going to get back up eventually anyway, but I think the goal here is for them to get Big Mom down to that crater. And it would be interesting if Yamato does, like Fable was mentioning, take the bombs and throw them out the hole, and then they could land on Big Mom. But I don't think that necessarily would happen the next chapter, but it could. I think it makes sense to me, structure-wise, to finally go back to Hiyori in the next chapter. I still want to see Nami and Tama, and I want to see Robin and Brooke. So the goal when you're doing a story is you want to give like an equal amount of time to each plot thread that you're using, right? And Oda does this where he'll show us a plot thread, then he'll go to the next one, and then he'll go to another. Well, he has way too many plot threads open. So the Zoro thing, I don't think he's going to go back to for a while. If he does, great, but realistically, it could be a situation where like we just don't know where Zoro is, and Zoro like the arc ends and no one knows where he is, and like we have to find Zoro. He's like really lost. He's in the underworld, like, you know, who knows. But Sanji's packed up, so we don't necessarily need to see what's going on with them unless Oda has a plan for them, right? The open plot threads right now are always where is Denjiro, but, you know, whatever. But more so, the real open plot threads are Nami and Tama, because we haven't seen them in a while. Robin and Brook, because we haven't seen them in a while. So, going back to Luffy and Kaido right away doesn't necessarily make sense to me. I think we need to do some more with Nami and Tama and Robin and Brook before that's going to happen. And the Hiyori and Orochi thread is the strongest thread right now. So I think that that's what we're probably going to get in 1040. So we need to understand what's going on in there. A update on where Marco is, if he's going to deal with Kazembo, would make sense as well. But I think that we're going to have a couple of pages to half the chapter with more Kid Law and Big Mom stuff, showing that Law is packed up. His crew may be potentially worried about him. And maybe get an idea of what Kid's motivation following this fight could be. Or Big Mom could... I don't think Big Mom's going to turn the tide right here. I think this is all to get her out of the story temporarily so that we can focus on the other plot threads. Oda was able to give enough shine to both Law and Kid right here. So I think that he's going to be sufficiently satisfied with their involvement in the arc to where he can go and move around and do other pieces. Law is packed up. Law, I don't see doing anything else significant for the rest of the arc. Opening that hole is going to give Yamato a lot of room to breathe. Considering Yamato was in this chapter, we could go back to that plot thread and deal with that because that is pretty pressing. So I think the top 4 plot threads outside of doing Kid and Big Mom is finishing this Kid and Big Mom stuff is Hiyori and Orochi, Yamato because it's pressing, Robin and Brook, and then Nami and Tama. So that's like the top 4 stuff outside of that I expect to get in the next chapter. Catching up on the chat. Nature Boy said, these streams are my favorite on YouTube, but I never catch them on time. I don't know when they actually start. 12:15 EST on Fridays is usually what I try to stick to right now. And for break week streams, sometimes I do them around the same time on Saturdays. So, yeah. But I try to be pretty consistent with 12:15, 12:30 on Fridays. Later, Safina. Phantom Greyfire said, Liam's new channel's pretty cool. He even mentioned the video I made on his Morge video. And it was kind of surreal. Though I like his overall YouTube analysis type stuff more. I'd have to see that. Was it? I know that he made a Mr. Morge video where he's like going into the cult thing. Did you make the video that combined all of the times where Mr. Morge mentioned the raid failing. Was that you, Phantom? Yeah. I'm really digging his YouTube analysis stuff, and I'm like kind of learning some things because I don't really understand a lot of like the analytics and like the algorithm stuff and like the tech stuff. You know, it's like I can make a movie, I can write a script, I can reasonably light things and you know, and edit. I can definitely edit. But when it comes to like the YouTube tech stuff and like this algorithm stuff and like the reasons behind why it was necessary to make a second channel, like that's all stuff that I was, you know, really wasn't thinking about. But you know, it's a lot of conversations that I had with other YouTubers and like seeing what they're doing, and it's like, okay, you know, it's like a lot of people, you know, once they started moving their streams up, it's like they started growing, and it's like, yeah, because there's not these varying things that are getting pushed out where, you know, this main channel I'm going to try to like, we're going to still stream on the channel, but the VODs will be somewhere else, but the analysis, you know, so that all the content is pretty streamlined to something, you know, roughly 10 to 25 minute videos, like, you know what you're going to get. And I thought it would be okay, you know, if every stream is 2 hours, then it's like you've got these 10 to 20 minute videos, analysis and all that stuff, and then you have the 2 hour streams. But YouTube likes to punish people, and this is all stuff that a lot of it I've learned talking to Grand Line Review and some of the other guys, and I don't know. I mean, I'm just trying to, you know, I'm still casual with everything, and I'm still, you know, just like having fun, but I am trying to take the YouTube stuff a little more seriously because, I don't know, it seems like people like what what I'm doing here. I don't know. It's like, and that's cool to me. Hunter asks you, I think Big Mom is done. No. Big Mom has a lot of story threads that need to get tied up, and Oda is not going to kick her out of the story without like dealing with that. Big Mom has to reconcile with her past. We have to see it. We have to see her remember that she ate Mother Carmel. Until that happens, Big Mom cannot be defeated or become an ally or just leave the story. I mean, I guess she doesn't have to, but I mean, it would create a more full circle, you know, interpretation. And I don't know. I would just feel a little underwhelmed if this was like the way that it all goes down. It's interesting, but it should have something adjacent to the Straw Hats, and it just doesn't here. So, like, I would be happy personally with a situation where Big Mom goes to Elbaf, reconciles with everything that she did on Elbaf, Pudding is there, Pudding gives her memories back so that she remembers all of that. She has some sort of a breakdown, has to sort of understand and deal with that trauma, and then have maybe potentially an epiphany of some sort. Maybe. That would be a character arc. Or Oda could just finish her off. I don't know. Shinji Ikari, will Luffy win? Luffy's going to beat Kaido, but they may lose Wano to the world government. Guys out here talking about my kryptonite. Do I think that Grim Reaper could be a CP0 guy? No, I'm kind of thinking that it's like a real Grim Reaper. Like I think that's what we're dealing with here. So I don't think it's a gag. I don't think it makes sense for the CP0 guys to be there. I don't think that it's Brook. All of these people are in different parts of Onigashima, and Zoro is like extremely isolated from everyone on the outside. The only person that would like, I think, see Zoro, like at this point would be like Momonosuke, because he's flying around the outside of Onigashima. So yeah. It just, like, it makes sense to me in a weird way. In a, like, a really, like, tinfoil weird way. That, that, like, during Thriller Bark, after Kuma told Zoro, hey, I'll show you hell, that Zoro was approached by the Grim Reaper and then made a deal with the Grim Reaper so that he could see his dream out and Luffy's. And that would explain why he was able to, like, subject himself to Mihawk. Like, if something like that happened, I would look at that Mihawk scene where he bows to Mihawk, like, way differently. Now, some people will say, well, Zoro said, who are you, to the Grim Reaper, so if he knew the Grim Reaper, then why would he say that? Well, he hasn't seen him for 2 years, and if he just saw the cloak at first, he might just say, who are you? The other 2 lines could be shown as, like, recognition. So, I don't know if Oda wants to go in those wacky territories, but he's already shown that souls and spirits exist, like, via Brook. Everything that's going on with the Fire Festival is all about spirits and death and all of that. So, I don't know. I don't necessarily know what Oda's trying to do, but it is very interesting. Phantom said it. I see it's tinfoil time. Speculations on what Usopp might do now. Well, I'm still on the train that Usopp gets Conqueror's fruit. So whatever potentially leads to that, if Usopp ends up making it, I wonder if the fruit is like inside Kazembo. Like, is a part of Conqueror still inside Kazembo? Is Conqueror, like, dead and Kazembo is just his, like, last hurrah of sentience? Or what? I don't know. I want to know what's going on with... I just want to know what's going to happen with his fruit. But... realistically, Usopp might just be playing a protector role kind of for the rest of the arc. I'd like to see him do something of real consequence, though. Emil Diaz brought up a good point that Brook was watching during Nothing Happened. Yeah. So, Brook would know. And I've always sort of wondered if Brook would tell us what the something was that actually happened, because something happened. And if Death showed up to greet Zoro, Brook would know because Brook has died. So he's probably already met the Grim Reaper. And then it was a fun thing that people brought up in the comments of the last video, which, if you guys haven't seen the analysis for that one, I had a lot of fun editing that one. Definitely check that one out. But people brought up the scene in 3D2Y when they were trying to summon, like, potentially this Grim Reaper, and then, here comes Brook, who looks, exactly like him. So that could have been like an early foreshadowing as well. These like cultists on that island of Long Arms. Zal said, I hope she's not done, but I will be fine if this is all we get in Wano from her. Yeah, I'm okay with that too. She's such a central block to how the One Piece world is structured. You can't just pluck her out of the story like that, I agree. Shinji said, why do you think Usopp will get the devil fruit? I actually have a video on the channel about that, where I go into a little more context and show panels. But one of the first things, like literally the chapter after Usopp joins the crew, right? He paints the flag and he tells Luffy, "Leave the painting to me." So if he had Conqueror's fruit, it would be one of the craziest foreshadowings in the series. Because he would be like literally handling painting. Usopp needs some sort of an upgrade, but Conqueror's fruit wouldn't make him overpowered because it would be Usopp using his wild imagination. It would be different than if he, got a Logia, and had like a really offensive fruit. Now you could certainly draw offensive things, right? But he could also draw like 8,000 followers. So it would help Usopp, who is a liar and an imaginator, a creator, to bring his lies to life. And I think that there's a lot of like really interesting story stuff that Oda could do without making Usopp, seem too broken. Like it would just. I think that Usopp could have Oda could have a lot of fun with Usopp if he did that. Jur asked, do you still think Law might be a part of Sword? Nothing in the story has clued me otherwise. Yeah. Nothing has debunked it yet. Chrissy said I was made to wear a tinfoil hat. Oh, God. Saeed said, but Zoro said, who are you to the Grim Reaper? So wouldn't that mean he never saw him before? I mean, potentially, but then, it's like the other two lines, it could be quick thing where it's like, oh, I don't recognize you at first, and then it's like, oh wait, I remember you, but we don't see that part. That could be the misdirection, right? Because Oda loves to use misdirection. So Evo said, Usopp, I'm something of an artist myself. Spider-Man. Ah. Zal said, have to get to work. Good day to all of you and Randy. Stay savage. Savage. Let's see. Phantom said, who or what has been keeping the Big Mom crew busy all this time? I mean, potentially these government ships at some point. They could have just magically fallen off the waterfall again. They're definitely going to play some sort of a role. We just don't know what it is yet. Oda's keeping them at bay for a reason. There's a reason that like all of those characters are there, and I'm very excited eventually to find out why. Gonna cry. I got some bully in the chat. Grim Reaper to Zoro. Gonna put some dirt in that eye. Spider-Man. The Bat, 497. Alternatively, Usopp's Kabuto Hideta. Yeah, a lot of people have brought that up, and I'd be okay with that too. Totally fine with that. Eases up a lot of the reservations that people have about like Usopp personally, eating the fruit. So I'm okay with that. Brandon King said, do you think Big Mom's career exists solely for her to have a way out of Wano? Or do you think they will do something else? I mean, it's very possible that it is that simple. Because Oda has plans for them outside of Wano. It just depends. Like, I still think that Wano doesn't end without some sort of like force standing in the way of the heroes, preventing them from their goal when they can't fight back. In the same vein that like Kuma showed up right after they thought they had won in Thriller Bark, and then just messed up all of their days, particularly Zoro's. But with higher stakes this time, right? So if they beat Kaido, they think Big Mom is down, and they've stopped Onigashima from falling, they've stopped Kazembo, they've stopped the bombs, and then they think they can breathe, and they've saved Wano, and then they still haven't dealt with CP0, and CP0 shows up with other world government people, or the an admiral is there or something, and then they kidnap Robin, they kidnap Luffy maybe or something, they take both of them to impel down, something like that, like something crazy that propels the story into a direction that's like, whoa, what are we going to do now, is what is necessary at the end of the arc, and it can go in multiple different directions. But it also could be something as simple as like the Big Mom pirates finally show up and no one's ready to fight, or the people that are ready to fight are like Usopp, Nami, Brook, like not necessarily like the top tier fighter, maybe Frankie, and they're going up against the entirety of the Big Mom pirates. Now that would be one of the greatest chapters in all of One Piece if something like that happened, right? You get a sort of a inversion of when Luffy and Nami were, just standing by waiting for Sanji, but then all of the Big Mom kids showed up, and like you see like Luffy, he's like dealing with Montdor, and then he's dealing with Opera, and Armand is there, and all of this, like having that happen, but having like the Straw Hats sort of try and deal with that, and maybe win or lose, like it doesn't matter, but either way, like that would be a lot of fun to see. It would be more fun in that particular situation to see the crew be useful, right? Usopp takes out Flampe, who from the sidelines is trying to like disrupt the fight, similar to the Katakuri thing. Like this is all fan fiction, but I mean, like this is stuff that would be interesting to see. Like I want to see a collaboration thing again, something like against Oars, but against a lot of people at once, and that'd be interesting. And if Usopp ate the, or the Kabuto ate the Fude no Mi, then they could bolster the army a little bit and protect the people that are packed up, like Luffy, Zoro, Sanji. That's just something that would be a lot of fun to me, because I love it when like Oda challenges the Straw Hats that aren't necessarily in the monster trio, right? And like gives them a real shot to shine because he's always focusing on Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji. So that's something that would be a lot of fun. I don't know what you guys think about that, but you know. I don't know about that, Brandon. Usopp eats the Kabuto eats the Toki Toki no Mi, and the shots send people into the future. No, I don't want that. Giovanni said, if Big Mom dies, is Zeus gone? I think that there is a precedent set with even that particular power that's not the case. Because I think it was Prometheus. After Big Mom ate Mother Carmel, like Prometheus just appears, right? And that's the clue that we understand that like that's how Big Mom got her powers. But Big Mom didn't do anything to like necessarily manifest that because she had no idea that she had the powers or any understanding of what the powers can do. So, but the things that Mother Carmel had created were still there. And another clue is actually one of the giants in Hajradin's crew. I don't remember his name because he's never actually been shown outside of the cover story. But he had a shield that had a homie on it. Now, unless he got into a fight with Big Mom, it's very possible that this was a gift from Mother Carmel to, you know, the giants. So, and then that he's had that shield for, you know, since he was a kid, since Mother Carmel was alive. So there's a potential for that, where Zeus stays as a remnant of the soul, even if Big Mom died. Gio said that face on the shield made me uncomfortable, not gonna lie. But yeah, oh boy, I don't think Big Mom will die. Said Law's attack's gonna give me goosebumps when animated. Oh, for sure. And they're gonna put the top tier teams on this episode for sure. Should have said hashtag Tama for Cabin Boy. Well, Cabin Girl, but yeah, you know that's the agenda. Goldberg, yeah, that's the person's name. Yeah. Goldberg. I'm usually pretty good at remembering all of the names in One Piece, but you know, sometimes the characters that have never had a line escape me. Alright guys, we're well past the 2 hour mark. This was a phenomenal chapter. You know, we'll keep the conversation going for another couple of minutes here, see what else we can think about, what we can talk about. I had a lot of fun reading this with everybody. You know, this is definitely the kind of like a fight chapter that we needed, that we wanted. I'm excited to see what the conversation is in the community about it. It's going to be funny to see all of like the hardcore kid fans coming out and like thinking everybody's changed their tune on everything. And let's see. I know that somebody told me to check Twitter real quick, so I think I got sent something. Maybe it's a meme. I don't know. Okay, all right. So someone sent me a comparison shot of Mother Carmel and Misery, and Mother Carmel has the same hair curl that Carmel did. It's not. I think it would be better to show a younger picture, because we did see young Mother Carmel at the beginning of the flashback. So this has Mother Carmel's like hair curl. I think that there's definitely like an emphasis there, but beyond that, the face isn't really the same. Let me see if there was something else that was sent to me. No, I guess that's what they were talking about. So let's see. So it's like that. And then the same hair curl there. And if I can zoom in, maybe. Yeah. Was there something else? Let's see. Loggy doggy, what did you put? What did you do? Obviously, the most impressive thing is Law's extremely deep penetration. That's the most important thing that Law is going to have done this entire arc, because that hole is going to get used. Obviously, the most impressive thing is Law's extremely deep penetration. That's the most important thing that Law is going to have done this entire arc, because that hole is going to get used. That hole is going to get used. It's going to get used. All right. We're having fun today, people. Taking me out of context. Oh my god. Putting it on Twitter, cutting two different parts of the stream together to make it sound worse. Let's see. I really want to see Blackbeard fight Newgate's self-proclaimed son, hopefully after Wano. I think that Weevil is definitely a possibility for, like a shake-up character. And I had a recent theory that I was saying that could possibly happen on Sphinx Island, because we know that he's looking for Marco. So if we go to Sphinx Island after Wano, then someone on the crew or whatever, while everybody else is starting to heal, maybe Zoro, while he's still somewhat packed up, will have to deal with Weevil. Lucy V said spoilers for 1040. I talked about them a little earlier, but Law, we're definitely going to see Law, the repercussions of Law doing this. So him falling over, his crew having to tend to him potentially. We're going to see what happened to Big Mom, whether they're going to throw her into the crater or not. We could catch up on Yamato, but the two big lines that we haven't gone back to, plot lines, plot threads, is the Tama and Nami stuff. What are they going to do? What is their goal for the rest of the arc? What are they trying to accomplish? And Robin and Brooke. So that's and Hiyori and Orochi. So I actually think we're gonna go to Hiyori and Orochi and Law, Kid, and Big Mom. But if we get updates on the other stuff too, then that's great. Yamato potentially, but I don't think we're gonna go and see Luffy again. I don't think that we're gonna see Sanji. I don't think we're gonna catch up with Zoro. We need Sanji to do more action in this arc. This has been the most Sanji action we've had since pre-time skip. He's done a lot. I'm okay with, like, if we don't get anything else. I'm fully open to more. We could get an inversion of nothing happened involving Sanji. That would be great. Everybody laughing at that thing. Making it sound better, you mean? So Phantom Greyfire. Yeah, my sub's about to shoot to 50k. We are wildly close to 20k, guys. Less than 50 subs, and we're gonna hit 20k. It's kind of crazy. Weevil is Evil 333 Evil's father. No. Oh my god. Chrissy said, "What a sound bite." Yeah. Well, I'm glad everybody had some fun today. I had fun. Oh wait, should I? Do I have to? I don't even have any room, but just imagine me like putting Big Mom on her side, packing her up. Highlight the goat right here. This is the MVP. Tropical Island. So did the red-haired character make his move? Yeah, the red-haired pirate named Kid shot a railgun and made a bull. Nerd Culture said, "Hey Randy, I'm late. Who do you think is the MVP of the arc?" I mean, there's a lot. You know, I mean, it's going to change by the end of the arc because we have to see things like this. Like realistically, like this hole that Law has made through Onigashima could make him the MVP, right? If the bombs get thrown through it, if it's used by Marco to get to Kazembo faster, if it's traversed by anybody to make any sort of like major play that changes the course of the arc, that's a possibility. Tama turned the whole tide. So Tama's definitely an MVP. Sanji has had like a lot of really great feats. So, you know, there's a lot of possibilities for people. If Luffy beats Kaido, which he's, you know, very likely to do, then, you know, yeah, he could be an MVP also. If Kaido destroys everybody, then Kaido's the MVP. Tropical Island, we got new film Red News, by the way, interesting stuff. Yeah, I saw. So it's going to include canon material that Oda thinks he may not get to, but the story itself will be largely not canon. So what that tells me is that, one, Luffy and Shanks will never interact at all in the movie. It's going to be teased, and people are going to be like, oh man, are they going to meet? And it's not. But what we might get is Shanks' lore. Like, we could see Shanks getting the Gomu Gomu no Mi from Who's Who. We could see an interaction, a fight, something that, things that were teased in, like, a lot of those novels that have come out of, like, a fight between Shanks and Mihawk. We could get lore on Shanks's early piracy. What event made him a emperor? Was there already an emperor that Shanks dethroned 6 years ago that we haven't necessarily talked about or heard about, right? Actually, I don't know if anybody's ever really talked about that. Like, we learned Shanks was an emperor 6 years ago. Who did he replace? Right? Because that means it was Big Mom, Kaido, and Whitebeard were 3 of the 4 Yonkos, and then here comes Shanks. Was it just the Sanko until Shanks, upped everything? We find out Mihawk was a Yonko, but he took the warlord position instead. That would actually be kind of wild, and would send so many power scalers to a wild direction. God. My guy Eric said, but Law can be given MVP status simply for how he navigated the roof piece fight. They would all be dead if not for him. True. He's the best support player. He is... the way he was teleporting and moving everybody around and keeping them alive. Law has had a very impressive showing. Even if he hasn't done a lot of major attacks outside of the recent chapters with his awakening, when he was on during Roof Piece, he wasn't really doing much attack wise. He was just the support doing everything. Eric said he wants to give MVP to Zoro. If he didn't stop King, who would have? Marco? I mean, if it was a 1v1, it's possible that Marco could have done it. Hidden Island said Mihawk used to be in Shanks' crew as a cool theory. See, I don't see Mihawk being in Shanks' crew, because when we were already unless Mihawk had left the crew before chapter 1, right? Because Ben Beckman was the established right-hand man for Shanks. So to say that Mihawk was in Shanks' crew just takes away a lot of credibility from Ben Beckman. Now, granted, Kizaru was like, ooh, Ben Beckman. But I mean, I don't know. I kind of like the idea of Mihawk just sort of being a lone warrior. Ty said, could Zoro stand against Kid? Really think about it. Yeah. Be a lot of no sword style going on. It'd be looking like the Groggy Ring. Emil said Wang Shi for potential Yonko to have been dethroned. That's a possibility, but then that would mean that he definitely killed Wang Zi and Moria got the body. Because I do believe that that was Captain John and Wang Shi at Thriller Bark. Arpit Sohal, what do I think about Zunisha? They're there. I don't have any new thoughts about Zunisha, but I do have 2 videos where I go in depth on it. No sword style Ashura. That would be interesting. John Wayne, we need at least 5 chapters of the Kaido flashback backstory. I say we need at least 2.5. For like just solely like just Kaido stuff. But if we're really getting into Rock's lore and stuff like that, like yeah, I definitely want at least 5. How many chapters before Wano wraps up? I think we're within 20 chapters of the true climax. Maybe even shorter, honestly. Because now that Big Mom is like removed from the threat list temporarily, at least, that leaves CP0, Orochi, Kaido, the world government ships, and whoever potentially shows up. If Vegapunk shows up, if Blackbeard shows up, if an admiral shows up, if the Revolutionary Army shows up, if Shanks shows up. But CP0 is not going to get taken out by Izo, so they're just going to remain a threat. So we just have to see if they manage to reach Robin. Luffy's definitely going to beat Kaido, in my opinion. If he doesn't, then Oda is going to use Kaido as a force to find the ancient weapons, and we'll come back to him later. But I think with the world government and everything there, I think Kaido's getting pushed out of Wano for sure. And Orochi, please Oda, let Hiyori do the honors. Ty said, "What's up with this chapter being called the main act, the main attraction?" So that's a. I think that Oda is doing a pun on just like concerts. So and all of Kid's attacks have that sort of like heavy metal, like punk vibe and all of that. Law at one point said, "I'm not your opening act," right? And an opening act would be the opening act for a main attraction, for the star of the show. And Kid is basically essentially trying to say that he is the star of this show, and he gets the final hit on Big Mom. So it's not really saying that they're the main attraction and like belittling Luffy and Kaido, which is definitely the main attraction. And when I saw the title, I was like, oh, we're going to Luffy and Kaido for some reason. But that's what he's doing. He's doing a play on like concert terminology. Saibi said, "I hope it's not too late to have a Kaido backstory." We're totally getting Kaido backstory because we're going to get more of Yamato fleshed out, and that's got to happen. So, but it may happen as Kaido is being defeated. Like Luffy's doing the final like barrage of attacks, and that's when Kaido's going to like flashback, and we'll get everything, and then we'll come back right as like Wano is saved, right before the looming threats finish. Thoughts on the previous Opi Opi no Mi user creating the hole in Eni's lobby? That's kind of interesting. I mean, I definitely believe that it had to have been done by some sort of awakening in, from a fruit. I think it's more likely that it was done with like Fujitora's fruit, like sending the gravity downwards makes a little more sense to me. Tage Graham said main attraction is a magnet pun for sure. It's a double entendre for sure. It's going on that concert vibe, but then yeah, going at it from the perspective of magnets as well. That's cool. That's just Oda's humor right there. Adrian Torres, do you think we'll ever hear about previous members of the Monkey D family? Definitely. Totally. We're going to find out eventually who Luffy's mom is. And we'll probably find out that she's a Lunarian, or if the whole, like, Rox is the other grandfather for Luffy, then, you know, him being a Lunarian. I just, personally, and I've been saying this since we, learned about Lunarians and all of this, that I was like, I want Sanji to have been spliced with Lunarian DNA, and I want Luffy to be part Lunarian to explain his fire affinity and properties. If Oda does that and just doesn't leave it as this is, his burning passion, his will, and all of this stuff, I will be so incredibly just like, go to. Old Boy said she could still be alive. I don't think so. I think that whoever Luffy's mother is the reason for a lot of Dragon's motivations and Garp's motivations. And another reason why I love the idea that it's Garp's daughter that is Luffy's mom, and that Garp and Dragon have no blood relation, is that just fuels my sword theory that he's the leader of Sword, right? And if the Celestial Dragons, like, killed Garp's daughter, Luffy's mother, then, and he just had to grin and bear it, right? Then that would give him so much motivation to create an organization within the Marines to take down the world government, right? And then, as a separate faction, his son-in-law, Dragon, goes and creates the revolutionary armies to do the same thing that Garp is trying to do, but just from a different angle, because their ideals, while similar, don't exactly, like, align. Garp wants to do it from the shadows. Probably said Dragon's just like, come into the Marines, like, let's do it within them. And he's like, no, I'm going to do it my way. And then you have Luffy, who's this other faction of the Monkey family that is, like, also against the world government, but a different faction, piracy. So all three of them together, I think, working together to take down the government would be poetic. Because otherwise, Garp is just... he's just not that interesting of a character if he's not trying to take down the Marines. Why tell us that he doesn't like the Celestial Dragons? Why have him have all of this conflict during Marineford? Where he's torn, like, he wants to save Ace, he wants to do something, he wants to go and attack Sakazuki, but he has to hold himself back, or Sengoku has to hold him back, right? Sengoku's in on the plan, then it's like, hey man, like, don't mess this up for us. You go after him, then, like, our the bigger plan that's bigger than this, that's bigger than Ace, because for Garp it might not be about Joy Boy and everything like that. Like, if Ace was meant to be Joy Boy or anything like that, it's more so like, I just want to take down Emu, I want to take down the Celestial Dragons, but I need to do it at the right time with the right people after the XYZ happens. So Daweed said, would Dragon be Monkey D if he wasn't his son? It's not uncommon for a man in other cultures to take the name of a woman, especially if Dragon was trying to hide the fact that he's actually Rox D Dragon, right? So if he's trying to hide his true name, similar to how Ace didn't want to be Goldie Ace but took Portkus as his name, then you know, we already have precedence for that in the story. Ian said, you don't think it's too much to have double Lunarian on the crew? I mean, we already have 2 swordsmen. Let's see. Chin said it would explain why Garp agreed to take an ace if he took in Dragon from Zebek. Yeah, I think that there is like there's definitely like a an understanding and a precedence that already happened in the past with. You know, you look at that conversation between Garp and Roger, like they know something, right? Something happened at the God Valley incident that changed both of them, and they interacted with Zebek. So that's why I still, you know, I say it all the time. I think Zebek was like on, whether he was going about it the right way or not, he was on the same mission that I think Roger ended up going on, and whatever mission Garp is on right now. Like, they may have thought that the world government was, you know, okay, or that, you know, wasn't as bad as they imagined, right? They were like, yeah, you know, I don't like a couple of things that they're doing, and, you know, I'm upset with them, but then, like, here comes Zebek and tells them, like, the real atrocities, and it's like, okay, I need to learn more about this. So Emil Diaz said we need to start the Fortrix fried chicken food franchise. There's savage pirates to run it all over the world. Yeah. Do I think Saba's alive? I do. Yep. So, closing in on 3 hours, which is a lot longer than we normally do, but I've been having a lot of fun. This chapter is amazing. Great fight. Great stuff. Great showing from Law. And moves the plot forward in a positive way. So I think I'm going to wrap things up here. We got a bunch of... I was going to wrap things up earlier, but we were getting a slew of great questions, and I was able to go on a lot of really awesome tangents. So, look out for the analysis on Sunday or Monday. The VOD for this stream, if you guys want to catch up on anything you missed, is going to be on the Randy Troy channel. The link is in the description. And if you're a member, you'll be able to have it right here on this channel. I'm not putting a paywall behind it. It's going to be on the other VOD channel. And yeah. Got a couple other theories and vids planned that I'm trying to work on and get out during the week, and I'm excited for 1040. You know, I'm excited to enter a new decimal. You know, a new number. We're getting out of the 3s, we're going into the 4s, and we're here. So, Ty said I did a whole stream, bro. You were here from the beginning to the end. And as always, bro, I seriously appreciate you. You are definitely big lavish Ty. Big Wyndham, my man. And hope to see everybody again for 1040. excited for where things are gonna go. Let's get Hiyori and Orochi. I think that would be a lot of fun. Or Robin and Brooke. Probably get other things, but those are the two plot threads that I'm most interested in where the story's going to take them. So, all right, guys, I'm wrapping things up here, and I'll see you in the comments and on the Discord if you're over there. All right, later, everybody.